Before we start today's video, check out our affiliate links in the description down below. These can make some great gifts with the holiday season just around the corner, or even a gift for yourself. It supports the channel at no extra cost of you. Thanks so much. May the force be with you, and enjoy the video.
Hello there.
This is where the fun begins.
What's up guys, Unofficial Star Wars here. Hope you're all doing well, and in this video we are going to be discussing how recently Star Wars actor and legend Ahmed Best recently came out to support and hold a handout for Amandla Steinberg after the cancellation of the Acolyte, everything that's been going on with the Acolyte. We're going to go ahead, we're going to hop right on into it, break it all down for you guys, everything that we know and everything that we're anticipating right now. Before we do though, however, grab that subscribe button if you haven't already, as we're discussing and covering all types of Star Wars related news, leaks, rumors, theories, and breakdowns here on the channel. So if you guys are into any of that, go ahead and grab that subscribe button today. It's more of a feel-good, a warm feeling kind of video, really, if for anything, Ahmed Best coming out and just holding his hand out for Amandla Steinberg amidst all the controversy and, you know, all the fans rambling on and on about the Acolyte this and the Acolyte that. Kind of, it gets repetitive and it causes a whirlwind, is really what it is. So in the last couple of weeks, it was revealed that Disney Plus and Lucasfilm have now opted to not renew Star Wars The Acolyte for a second season. This is just per other sources, nothing officially confirmed from Lucasfilm or Disney themselves. I actually have a whole nother video here on the channel recently, go check it out, discussing why I think that the Acolyte Season 2 very well is still a possibility, despite what these sources are saying that the second season just isn't going to be happening anytime soon. We saw the same trend for the Ahsoka show like 6 months ago after its first season had concluded. That kind of went silent and nobody actually thought that there was going to be a second season until a couple of months later. Like there were even, you know, sources and reports saying that, oh, they're not continuing, you know, Ahsoka for a second season. That's besides the point. Now, while the show, The Acolyte, had many vocal supporters, there were also a large group of Star Wars quote-unquote fans who wanted it to fail. In fact, some even started review bombing the wrong Acolyte on Rotten Tomatoes, which is kind of funny. And then this week, recently, the Acolyte star Amandla Steinberg had took to social media to react to the show's cancellation, and also had taken to address the bigotry and vitriol and prejudice and hatred and hateful language that was directed towards the cast. Unfortunately, this type of behavior isn't new within the Star Wars community coming from the fans. To say her coming out with this video on her socials is the right thing to do, it's honestly better to just say nothing, probably, in this kind of case, but she has a point, she has a platform, and I totally respect for coming out and saying those things, just to get it off her chest at the very least. So, Ahmed Best, who plays Jar Jar Binks in Star Wars The Phantom Menace, recently Kelleran Beck in The Mandalorian, has opened up about the emotional toll that the fan backlash had on him personally after the first prequel film was released, and even contemplating suicide due to the harassment that he had received at the time. And today, Ahmed Best took to his Instagram to share his support for Steinberg, saying and reading in quote, "I will always stand in solidarity for artists who give 110% to their work and art. Keep shining at Amandla Steinberg," Best wrote, ending that quote right there. It's exactly what you would anticipate, you know, short, sweet, and it's something that you'd probably think they probably talked on the phone or something of that nature, maybe had, you know, DMs or whatever, just to talk about the situation and how you would go about that, how you deal with that, because, you know, I'm one of those fans that I'm not going to go out and cause, you know, hate like that if I don't like something like that. I don't think there's been a Star Wars project that I haven't liked, to be honest, either, so there is that as well. I mean, something that I always preach, though, on my platform, on my socials, here on our YouTube, is that if you don't like it, don't watch it. Don't talk about it. We don't actually care. You know, really, at the end of the day, is kind of what it boils down to. If you do like it, then it sparks a conversation. Like, oh, we share something in common here. Let's talk a little bit more about it. That kind of scenario, that makes so much sense. But, you know, if you're going to go to my comments and say, oh, I hate the Acolyte, I hate this, I hate that, whatever, you know, it's just like, what's the point? You're not really engaging anyone like that, necessarily, if that makes sense. Anyway, changing the subject here, comicbook.com had the chance to chat with Ahmed Best at the grand opening of Bricks and Minifigs in California earlier in the year, and where he had spoke about the Phantom Menace re-release that had came out this year, of course, and it also explained why the political sides of Star Wars are so important. A no-brainer, I think, even at that. I mean, Star Wars from the original trilogy, 1977, is based off of those clear tones of Vietnam and actual wars that have gone on. I say World War because that also took place in the 40s. But anyway, he said that, in quotes, all of these movies have very strong political undertones. Best began when asked if he had a message for the fans on May 4th of this year. So The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Sith, Revenge of the Sith, were all done under the George W. Bush era. And even so much that Anakin and Sith, Revenge of the Sith, had a line, "You're either with us or against us." And that's directly from what happened during the George Bush era. Ending that quote right there. I think it goes into side and side and into reference for people that want to call out the Acolyte or really any new Star Wars medium or show, project on Disney Plus, movie, whatever the case may be, because it's like, oh, it's too political and they're shoving politics in our face. And, you know, the reason that we watch Star Wars is to get away from politics, but it's something that's always been there, essentially. And it's something that's always going to be there at the same time as well. So it's really cool and intricate to see how into, you know, Ahmed Best actually really gets into it as well, how much he knows about that there as well. But he says even more, end quote. And there is a reason why there is a light and a dark and a journey in between them, he continued, and that is a direct reflection on who we are as human beings. And I think as we watch these movies, we have to also remember that what we are watching is not just a galaxy far, far away, a long time ago, but it's also a reflection of how history repeats itself. And we have the ability to create a history that we can either see a dark side of history or a light side of history. Ending that quote right there. That last part of the quote is absolutely beautiful. It's perfect. Honestly, it almost brings me to a tear where he says, and we have the ability to create a history that we can either see a dark side of the history or a light side of the history, talking about how, you know, there's a reflection of how history repeats itself. And that's exactly what we're seeing here, the same situation with the Acolyte versus the prequels. The prequels first came out, there was a fan base out there that hated them. You know, the D1 haters, as they would be called, they just, you know, woke up in the morning, first thing they got to do is go hate on it. And we're seeing the same thing with the Acolyte. And it's not just the Acolytes, you know, other Star Wars projects as well. Maybe people that don't like the Book of Boba Fett or the Obi-Wan Kenobi show or the Mandalorian or the sequels. We get it. You don't like it. We don't care. Move on kind of scenario, as I had mentioned earlier. Anyway, guys, this here all being said, let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. I would love to hear what you guys are all thinking. Thanks so much for watching today's video. Of course, this has been Unofficial Star Wars. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a great one. May the Force be with you as always. Peace out.